So if you watched my last video, you know that you're not stuck, but you might be overwhelmed. And I did promise, and I always keep my promises, I want to give you a tool that you can use right now that can totally change how you approach goal setting. And most goal setting advice often skips one of the most important steps, and that is finding out what your capacity is or what season you are actually in right now. And this is why so many of us start our new goals in January, and by the third week, we've already abandoned them. So write this down. So we're asking ourselves, what season are you actually in? And I'm gonna go through a couple different seasons to give you an idea to put words to maybe how you're feeling right now. Here's what I've come to understand. This is coming from my own postpartum season when I was trying to operate as if I was in my old life, but in reality, everything had totally changed. And I truly did feel stuck because I really thought I would be able to live up to the expectations that I had for myself before becoming a mother. I was really down on myself for not being able to operate at pre-baby capacity, and this is where I was 3 years ago. Let me put it like this. If you're trying to plant a garden in December and nothing is growing, you don't blame December. This is often the same when we come up with really big goals in the midst of already feeling burnt out or depleted, and we don't reach those goals. We just end up blaming ourselves. So I'm going to introduce you to 4 seasons, and I want you to honestly identify where you actually are. Which season are you actually in? Not the one you wish you were in, but the one where you're actually in right now. First, we have survival season. So this is the season where things are just really, really hard and you are completely in maintenance mode. Maybe you are sleep deprived or overwhelmed or in some kind of transition in this season, and growth here is not the goal. Just getting through this season is the goal. Then you have the rebuilding season. So you've just come out of survival mode and you're ready to rebuild. There is some stabilization and you have some really small pockets of time and energy that you could devote to goals and growing. Then we have the quiet growth season. This is where things are relatively stable. You have capacity, but it's still limited in some way, but you are ready to build something within the limitations of your life. Then we have the expansion season. So this is the season we all wish we were in all the time. So this is where you really have a lot of momentum and energy and capacity, and you're ready to move forward towards really big goals without the need to burn down the rest of your life to pursue them. So I want you to pause this video and think about which of these 4 seasons you're actually in right now. Here's why this matters so much. When you're in a survival season, your goals are going to look so different than when you're in an expansive season. But if you're setting expansive season goals while you're in that survival season and you don't meet your expectations of that goal, you're going to blame yourself. And when we do that, we're collecting our own evidence that we can't trust ourselves to complete goals. And then we might even just give up on making goals altogether. If you want to go deeper on this, check out my season clarity guide. It's in the description below, and it takes this whole process to another level. Now that you've named your season, I want to get into the next step, which is what I call finding your honest pockets of time. Like after the non-negotiables of your week, like kids and work and taking care of your health, all of your responsibilities in life, what time do you actually have that is just yours? This could be 20 minutes a day, maybe it's 20 minutes a week. This could even simply be your commute to and from work. So now within that tiny pocket of time, you are going to pick one tiny action step that can push you forward towards your goal. So if your goal is to read more books this year or to get through the Harry Potter season, maybe spend that commute time listening to Harry Potter. So no matter what it is, the idea is to fit an action step in that small pocket of time that is going to get you closer to your goal. And honestly, it's going to feel very small, but small steps build momentum. And that is the goal here. We're building little pieces of trust for ourselves every day with these little actions. It's the little steps in our life that actually build the momentum that lead to our bigger goals. If you are currently in a survival season, maybe your action is just sitting down for 5 minutes to write down what you actually want. Clarifying what we actually want can help us set us up for success when we are out of this survival season. And if you're in a rebuilding season, maybe it's simply taking 20 minutes to walk the neighborhood and think about what you want for your future. So one of my goals in my rebuilding season was to be consistent with a weekly budget. And I did that, it gained momentum, and now we are in a much better place and we feel much better about our personal finances because of that one weekly action that I was consistent with. And if you're in that quiet growth season, maybe it's dedicating 1 hour a week towards something that you've been putting off for a long time. And if you're in an expansion season, great, go bigger. But still just pick one aligned action step and not 10, and build momentum towards that one thing first. If I'm being honest with you, I would consider myself to be in a quiet growth season right now. I have some time every week that I can devote to my own personal goals, such as making this YouTube channel, but I'm not in an expansive season yet. I still have lots of restraints on my time and my energy. All that to say, each step should be aligned with the season that you're in. This isn't settling for lesser goals, it's just a strategy. And if you want to do this together in real time with me, I am hosting a 60-minute working session where we will walk through each of these steps, and by the end, you will have clear, aligned actions that fit into your current season. The sign up for this working session is in the description below, along with the season clarity guide. Now, naming your season is the foundation, but here's something I want to go deeper on in my next video, because we all know this. When we have clarity and a plan, there's always something that gets in the way. Something that has nothing to do with your time or your energy. It's a story that you've been telling yourself about who you are when you're not achieving. This is something I've thought about a lot, and it's something that kept me stuck for a really long time. So that's what we're going to talk about in my next video. Thanks for watching.